Did you know that the way you rest your head on your pillow tonight could quietly raise your risk of a stroke without pain, without warning, while you sleep? No chest pain, no dizziness, no sign at all. You close your eyes feeling fine. And by morning, something inside your brain has changed forever. You wake up confused, your speech slurred, your arm heavy, and you wonder how it happened. As a brain doctor, I've seen this far too many times. Older adults who did everything right. They ate well, exercised, took their medications, yet suffered a stroke in their sleep because of something as simple, as innocent as the position of their pillow. Most seniors believe pillow comfort is just about softness or neck pain. But the truth is, the way your pillow supports your head can decide whether your blood flows freely to your brain or whether it slows, thickens, and clots during the quiet hours of the night. So before you fall asleep tonight, stay with me, because I'm about to show you 7 common pillow positions that may be silently cutting off your brain's blood supply, and one simple change that could save your life. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. The flat pillow trap. No elevation at all. If you're over 60, there's something about sleeping flat that feels safe. You've done it all your life. Head resting gently on the mattress, maybe a thin pillow or none at all. It feels natural, peaceful, even right. But as a brain doctor, I need you to hear this truth. What feels comfortable may quietly be killing your brain while you sleep. When your head lies flat, at the same level as your heart, blood must fight against gravity to drain from your brain. In your younger years, that didn't matter much. Your veins were elastic, your blood thinner, your circulation strong. But with age, your vessels stiffen and narrow, and your blood thickens. What once drained easily now moves sluggishly, especially during the quiet hours between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. when your blood pressure naturally rises. That slow, stagnant blood doesn't just sit there harmlessly. It thickens. It clots. And when a clot forms inside a narrowed vessel while you're asleep, you won't feel a thing until it's too late. You'll wake up and something will feel off. Your words don't come out right. Your arm doesn't lift the way it used to. Maybe half your face won't move. By then, the damage is already done. I've seen it far too many times. Older men and women, healthy in every other way. They eat well. They walk every day, they take their medications, but they sleep flat. They lie down with their head level to their heart, and every night, without knowing it, they create the perfect storm inside their own brain. The brain's delicate veins can't drain properly, and oxygen levels dip just enough to stress those fragile vessels. The next morning, the blood pressure surge hits, and that tiny clot that formed overnight shoots upward. It blocks an artery the size of a straw, and life changes forever. This is not theory. Medical scans show it. When seniors sleep completely flat, intracranial pressure increases, venous flow slows, and the risk of clot formation rises sharply. It doesn't matter if you feel fine. Most stroke victims do, right until the moment their world collapses. I remember one patient, a 78-year-old Navy veteran, who always slept flat, arms crossed, the way we did on the ship, he said. One morning, he couldn't speak. His eyes looked lost. The scan showed a clot in his left middle cerebral artery, one of the brain's main highways. The clot had formed during the night, while he lay peacefully asleep. His wife told me later, he always said he slept better that way. None of us knew it was hurting him. That story breaks my heart because it's preventable. Just a small change, elevating the head about 30 degrees, can make a profound difference. A wedge pillow or two supportive ones under your upper back and head allow gravity to help, not hurt. Blood flows smoothly, oxygen reaches every corner of your brain, and pressure inside your skull stays stable. It's a simple act of protection you can take tonight. Remember, your brain never sleeps. It depends on constant circulation, even while you dream. Don't let habit or comfort put it at risk. That flat pillow may feel harmless, but for the aging brain, it can be a silent trap, one that triggers strokes and forms deadly blood clots while you rest. But if you think lying flat is dangerous, wait until you see what happens when your neck twists in just the wrong way, cutting off the very arteries that keep your brain alive. That one could be even worse. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. The chin to chest curl, the suffocation position. There's something comforting about curling up at night. The warmth, the safety, the feeling of being tucked in like a child again. Many older Americans naturally curl forward in their sleep, their chin dropping toward their chest, often because they use too many pillows or ones that are too thick. It feels cozy, like a gentle hug from the night itself. But here's the truth very few people ever hear. This safe position may be slowly cutting off the very blood and oxygen your brain needs to survive. When your chin presses toward your chest, your neck bends sharply. Inside that small bend run two vital highways: the carotid arteries, carrying oxygen-rich blood from your heart to your brain, and the jugular veins, draining used blood back down. In a young, flexible neck, that bend doesn't cause much harm. But after 60, when your arteries are stiffer and your veins less elastic, that same bend becomes a choke point. The blood that should flow freely now slows to a crawl. Oxygen delivery to the brain drops. Venous blood struggles to drain away. And what happens when blood flow slows and oxygen falls? The body panics quietly. The heart works harder. Blood thickens, and in that slow-moving stream, clots begin to form. They start small, microscopic, building silently as the hours pass. Then, in the early morning, your blood pressure naturally rises. The clot breaks loose, travels upward, and triggers a stroke. You won't feel pain. You won't feel warning. You'll simply wake up different, weaker, slower, or not wake up at all. I once treated a woman named Margaret, 76, from Ohio. She'd always slept curled up, with her chin tucked and her neck resting on two big feather pillows. Her husband told me she looked peaceful, like a sleeping angel. One morning, she didn't get up. He found her breathing shallowly, her eyes half open but unable to speak. The scan revealed a clot in her brainstem, the area that controls breathing and consciousness. The cause wasn't diet, wasn't cholesterol, wasn't smoking. It was her neck position. Every night for years, her bent posture slowed blood flow just enough for that one clot to take hold. The science behind it is undeniable. Studies on cervical blood flow show that even moderate flexion of the neck, the kind caused by too high pillows, can reduce carotid artery flow by up to 30%. Combine that with age-related vascular stiffness, mild dehydration, and nighttime dips in oxygen, and you've created a perfect storm inside your body. Your brain, deprived of oxygen, becomes fragile. The delicate vessels that feed it are under strain, and as you sleep, unaware, they reach their breaking point. That's why I tell my patients, your pillow is not just for comfort, it's a medical tool. It should hold your head in line with your spine, not fold it forward. A contoured, medium firm pillow can keep your airway open and your circulation steady. Your chin should face the ceiling, never your chest. It's a simple adjustment, but for many, it's the difference between waking up refreshed and never waking up the same again. Your brain depends on smooth, constant blood flow. Every bend, every pinch, every wrong angle can quietly steal that from you. And if you think a bent neck is dangerous, wait until you see what happens when you twist it, not down but sideways, all night long. Because what that does to the arteries in the back of your brain might shock you even more. 3. The neck twist, side sleeping with a turned head. It's one of the most common sleeping habits in America. Lying on your side, your face turned sharply into the pillow. Maybe your head is tilted down toward your chest or turned upward toward the ceiling. It feels natural, familiar, the way you've slept for decades. But as a neurologist, I need you to know that simple twist in your neck, night after night, may be silently starving your brain of oxygen. And in some cases, it triggers strokes and forms blood clots without you ever feeling a thing. When you turn your head to one side for hours, the arteries running through your neck, the vertebral arteries and carotid arteries, become partially compressed. These arteries are the lifelines that carry blood from your heart to your brain, especially to the back of your head, where vital centers for balance, coordination, and consciousness live. In young, healthy vessels, the blood can still push through. But after 60, when the arteries are stiffer and narrower, that twist can turn into a blockage point. Now, imagine what happens over 6, 7, or 8 hours. The side you're lying on bears your body's full weight. Your neck muscles tighten, your pillow presses unevenly, and blood flow slows. Not completely, but enough. The veins that should drain blood from your brain are now kinked, forcing the blood to linger. The arteries that should deliver oxygen are squeezed, reducing supply. Inside those sluggish vessels, the blood thickens, and when blood flow becomes thick and slow, it begins to clot. It doesn't take much. One small clot forming in a narrowed vertebral artery can travel upward, lodging deep in the brain. In the early morning, as blood pressure rises naturally, the clot dislodges. It's quick, it's silent, and it's devastating. The person who went to bed feeling fine may wake up unable to speak, unable to stand, unable to recognize their own family. I'll never forget Mr. Randall, a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran who told me he'd always slept on his right side, his head turned into the pillow. He said it made him feel grounded. One morning, his wife found him halfway out of bed, his left arm limp, his face drooping. The scan showed a blockage in his right middle cerebral artery, a classic ischemic stroke. But here's what caught my attention. His carotid ultrasound revealed years of chronic narrowing, most likely worsened by nightly compression. His habit, one he thought was harmless, had slowly trained his vessels to struggle. And when that clot finally formed, it took only one night for everything to change. This isn't about scaring you, it's about awareness. As we age, the space inside our arteries shrinks, our vessel walls harden, and our blood thickens from mild dehydration. When you twist your neck for hours, the blood's natural flow pattern is disrupted and your brain becomes vulnerable. It's like kinking a garden hose. The water doesn't stop, but the pressure builds. Eventually, something gives way. If you sleep on your side, keep your head and neck aligned with your spine. Use a supportive, contoured pillow that cradles your head without letting it roll forward or backward. Your nose and chest should face the same direction. Don't twist, Don't bend, and don't let your pillow sink under the weight of your head. Small details, but in the world of the aging brain, they mean survival. Because at this stage of life, even one bad angle can decide whether blood nourishes your brain or turns against it. And if you think twisting your neck is risky, wait until you learn what happens when you tuck your arm underneath your pillow. That one doesn't just affect your arteries, it can strangle your nerves too. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number one below to let me know you're here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4. 4. The arm under pillow habit, the silent circulation killer. It's a habit almost everyone over 60 has done at some point. You lie on your side, slide one arm under the pillow, and drift off. It feels comforting, that warmth, that pressure, that sense of security, like holding on to something familiar as you fall asleep. Many seniors even say it helps relieve shoulder pain or makes them feel cocooned. But as a brain doctor who has seen the silent damage this simple habit can cause, I need to tell you the truth. This position can quietly strangle the very blood vessels and nerves that keep your brain and your body alive. When you place your arm under your pillow, your entire body weight presses down on it for hours. You might think the only risk is waking up with a numb hand, but the danger goes far deeper than that. Beneath the skin and muscle of your shoulder lies the subclavian artery, which supplies blood to your arm, shoulder, and crucially, the vertebral artery, which branches upward toward your brain. There's also the carotid artery running alongside your neck, delivering oxygen rich blood to the brain's front and middle regions. When your head rests heavily on your arm and pillow, you're compressing these vital vessels. Blood can't flow freely, oxygen delivery slows. Meanwhile, the veins that are supposed to drain blood back from your brain, the jugular and subclavian veins, are squeezed shut under your own weight. Blood begins to pool, circulation stagnates, and the once smooth rhythm of flow becomes sluggish. This is when the real danger begins. Slow moving blood tends to thicken and clot. These microclots may start in your neck or shoulder, but they don't stay there. They travel. And when one finds its way into a narrowed artery in your brain, it can trigger a stroke before you even open your eyes. I remember one patient, Mr. Ellis, a 74-year-old retired firefighter from Texas. Every night, he slept on his right side, his arm tucked under the pillow. Been doing it since my 20s, he told me. One morning, his wife found him sitting up in bed, eyes open but unable to speak, his right side limp. The scans revealed a clot lodged in his left middle cerebral artery, a stroke that happened during the night. The carotid ultrasound showed years of pressure-induced narrowing made worse by decades of compressing that same side. He never knew that his favorite sleeping habit was training his own body to cut off its circulation a few hours each night. Older adults are especially vulnerable because aging blood is thicker, vessels stiffer, and nerves less forgiving. When circulation slows, oxygen drops, and those fragile vessel walls become a breeding ground for clot formation. Add in dehydration or blood pressure medication that lowers nighttime pressure, and you've created a perfect storm for a stroke while you sleep. You won't feel pain, just a tingling hand, a dead arm, or nothing at all until the damage has already reached your brain. To protect yourself, your arm should never bear the weight of your head. Instead, keep both arms below or alongside your body, not under the pillow. Try hugging a soft, supportive body pillow. It provides that same feeling of comfort without crushing your arteries or nerves. Choose a pillow that supports your neck, not your shoulder, and one firm enough to keep your head stable without needing to prop your arm underneath. Remember, your brain needs blood flow every second of the night. The position you choose can either feed it or slowly suffocate it. That simple comfort, that cozy way of sleeping, might be quietly reshaping your circulation and stealing your strength. But if you think pressure on your arm is dangerous, wait until you learn what happens when your entire head sinks too deep into a soft pillow, cutting off oxygen and trapping carbon dioxide around your face. That one could be even deadlier. 5. The soft sinking pillow, the hidden oxygen thief. At first glance, it looks harmless, even inviting. A soft, cloud like pillow that your head sinks into like a gentle embrace. It feels luxurious, comfortable, soothing after a long day. For many older Americans, this is their nightly comfort, a sign of rest and peace. But as a brain doctor who has treated countless stroke survivors, I have to tell you something that few realize until it's too late. That soft, sinking pillow, the one that feels safest, may quietly be stealing your oxygen, thickening your blood, and setting the stage for a deadly stroke while you sleep. Here's what happens. When your pillow is too soft, your head doesn't rest on top. It sinks deep into it. Your chin tilts upward, your airway narrows, and your breathing becomes shallow. The pillow hugs the sides of your face, trapping warm, exhaled air around your mouth and nose. You start rebreathing your own carbon dioxide without even knowing it. The oxygen in your bloodstream begins to drop, slowly, silently. Your brain doesn't scream or send a pain signal. It simply endures, hour after hour, in a mild state of suffocation. As oxygen levels fall, your heart tries to compensate. It beats faster, your blood pressure rises, and your blood becomes thicker. A dangerous combination, especially for aging arteries that have lost their elasticity. The vessels in your brain struggle to maintain steady flow. Blood begins to pool in the small veins that should be draining it. And where blood pools, it stagnates. Where it stagnates, it forms clots. And those clots don't stay put forever. The moment your blood pressure surges, often in the early hours of morning, a clot can break free, travel upward, and trigger a stroke before you ever wake up. This pattern is frighteningly common in older adults with soft pillows, heavy bedding, or reduced nighttime oxygen from mild sleep apnea. And most people never suspect the pillow. They blame their age, their heart, their medications, but not the cushion cradling their head every night. I once cared for a 79-year-old retired teacher named Helen who loved her soft goose feather pillow. I can't sleep without it, she told me. Her husband said she snored softly but seemed peaceful. One morning, she didn't wake up on time. When she finally stirred, her speech was slurred and her right arm wouldn't move. A brain scan revealed an ischemic stroke in her left hemisphere. Her oxygen readings from the previous night were alarmingly low. That soft pillow she loved had quietly robbed her brain of air, one night too many. Older adults are particularly vulnerable because aging changes everything. The chest muscles weaken, breathing becomes shallower, and blood thickens more easily with dehydration. Add in the reduced airflow from a sinking pillow, and you create a perfect storm for oxygen deprivation and clot formation. It's not just comfort, it's circulation, and the brain depends on it. To protect yourself, choose a firm, breathable pillow that supports your head without swallowing it. Memory foam or latex pillows maintain their shape and keep air flowing around your face. Your chin should never tilt up or sink down. Keep the space around your mouth open. Your brain needs fresh oxygen every second of the night. Remember this: comfort without oxygen is an illusion. What feels like safety can be the very thing that steals your strength. That soft, sinking pillow may cradle your head, but it can also cradle a stroke waiting to happen. And if you think oxygen loss from a soft pillow is dangerous, wait until you hear what happens when you sleep face down. pressing your neck and chest against the mattress itself. That one doesn't just steal your oxygen, it strangles it. 6. The stomach sleeper's cushion, face down pressure. It's a position many people have loved since childhood. Lying face down, arms folded under the pillow, breathing softly into the sheets. For decades, it might have been the only way you could fall asleep. Maybe it eases back pain, or maybe it just feels safe, like the body remembers being cradled by the earth itself. But after 60, this once innocent sleeping habit becomes one of the most dangerous positions for your brain. Because sleeping face down doesn't just restrict your breathing, it triggers strokes, it forms blood clots, and it can silently cut off the very circulation that keeps your brain alive. Here's what happens inside your body when you sleep in this position. The moment your head turns to one side so you can breathe, your neck twists sharply. Beneath that twist run two vital blood highways: the carotid arteries in the front of your neck and the vertebral arteries that travel up the back of your spine. When your face presses into a soft pillow, your neck bends and these arteries become compressed, reducing the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your brain. For someone young, flexible, and healthy, the body may quickly adjust. But for older adults, whose arteries are stiffer and narrower, whose blood is thicker and slower, that pressure can become deadly. All night long, as you lie in that twisted position, your blood flow is uneven. The side of your neck bearing the most pressure sends less blood to your brain, while veins trying to drain used blood are kinked and narrowed. That trapped blood stagnates, and when blood stagnates, it thickens. It forms tiny clots deep inside those vessels, quietly growing as you sleep. Then, in the early morning hours, when your blood pressure naturally spikes, that clot can dislodge, travel upward, and block an artery in your brain. Within seconds, the stroke begins. You won't feel it coming. You won't feel it forming. You'll just wake up confused, unable to move one side of your body, or you might not wake up at all. I'll never forget Ethel, an 80-year-old retired nurse from Ohio. Her daughter found her one morning lying on her stomach, her speech slurred, her left arm motionless. The scan showed a large clot in her cerebellum, the part of the brain that controls balance and coordination. She had no heart disease, no high cholesterol, no history of smoking. What she did have was a lifelong habit of sleeping face down, her head turned sharply on a soft pillow, her neck vessels compressed for hours, night after night. That habit she thought was harmless had slowly starved her brain of blood until one night it couldn't recover. And there's another danger. When you sleep face down, your chest and lungs are partially compressed. Each breath you take delivers less oxygen, and over time, your brain receives less of what it desperately needs. Low oxygen triggers the blood to thicken further, making clot formation even more likely. If you have sleep apnea or use sedatives, your body's natural reflex to adjust and breathe better may not even wake you. The result is a slow suffocation your brain can't fight. If you've spent a lifetime sleeping this way, it's not too late to change. Start by rolling to your side with a firm pillow supporting your neck and another under your arm or chest to keep you from rolling back down. Within weeks, your body will adjust. What feels strange at first may save your independence, your speech, and your memory. Because when you sleep face down, you're not just resting. You're gambling with your blood flow. Your brain is fighting for oxygen it can't get, and your arteries are under pressure they can't handle. But if you think lying on your stomach is risky, wait until you see what happens when you stack your pillows too high. That one can quietly choke your neck from the opposite direction. And most seniors have no idea it's happening. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 7. 7. The pillow mountain. Stack it too high. For many older Americans, the night begins with comfort, a pile of soft, thick pillows stacked high behind the head and shoulders. Maybe it's to ease heartburn, calm snoring, or help with breathing. Maybe it just feels secure, like you're propped up safely to drift into sleep. You might even think that the higher you sleep, the better it is for your heart. But after treating thousands of seniors as a neurologist, I can tell you this truth without hesitation. That pillow mountain, that tower of comfort, is quietly one of the most dangerous sleep habits for an aging brain. Because while you rest, those stacked pillows are not helping your circulation. They're strangling it. And in many cases, it triggers strokes, it forms blood clots, and it can rob you of everything that makes you you. Here's what happens inside your body while you sleep in that position. When your head and neck are lifted too high, your chin tilts down towards your chest. The same motion you'd make if you were nodding. It may not feel like much, but that small bend compresses the carotid arteries in your neck, the main blood highways that carry oxygen from your heart to your brain. At the same time, it squeezes the jugular veins, which are supposed to drain used blood back down. The result is a double blockage. Blood can't flow in properly, and it can't flow out properly. Your brain, trapped between these two pressures, starts to struggle in silence. As circulation slows, oxygen levels in your brain begin to fall. Your heart senses this lack of oxygen and starts pumping harder, trying to compensate. But in older adults, the vessels aren't as elastic as they once were. They resist that pressure, leading to turbulence, swirling, sluggish blood inside the arteries. And what happens when blood slows down and thickens? It clots. Those small, sticky clumps form inside narrowed vessels, waiting for the next surge in pressure to break loose. Then, often between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., the most dangerous hours for seniors, that clot moves upward and triggers a stroke. You never see it coming. You go to bed feeling fine, and by morning, something in you has changed forever. I remember one patient vividly, Mrs. Keene, a 79-year-old retired florist from Kentucky. She had terrible acid reflux and started sleeping with 3 pillows stacked under her head to keep the heartburn down. It worked for a while. Then, one morning, she couldn't move her left arm. Her daughter noticed her speech slurred and called 911. The scan showed a small but devastating stroke, a clot in her right cerebral artery. Her doctors found no heart arrhythmia, no uncontrolled blood pressure, no cholesterol spike. What they did find was chronic compression in her neck vessels and poor nighttime circulation, the result of years sleeping prop-taped us too high. What she thought was a healthy habit was slowly starving her brain every single night. And this isn't just about reflux. Many seniors with back pain, COPD, or snoring stack their pillows high without realizing they're forcing their neck into a forward bend that reduces oxygen to the brain. Some even fall asleep sitting upright in recliners, a position that worsens this same problem. The science is clear. When your head is flexed forward for long hours, blood flow through the carotid arteries can drop by 25 to 40%. For an aging brain already working with reduced circulation, that can mean the difference between waking up healthy or waking up changed. The solution isn't to go flat, it's to go balanced. You want a gentle incline, not a tower. A wedge pillow that elevates your upper body evenly, not just your head, allows gravity to assist circulation without kinking your neck. Your chin should stay level with your chest, not press toward it. If you need support for reflux or breathing, talk to your doctor about adjustable beds or medical wedges. They can lift your torso safely without compressing your neck vessels. Because here's the truth. Your pillow setup is more powerful than you think. It can heal, or harm, support or suffocate. It's not just about comfort, it's about blood flow, oxygen, and the life that depends on both. The wrong angle can quietly steal years of health from you. The right one can help preserve your memory, balance, and independence. So tonight, before you stack those pillows, ask yourself, am I lifting my comfort or lowering my brain's chance to breathe? Because the real danger isn't just how high your pillows go, it's what that height does to the most important organ you have. And if you think pillow height can change your brain's blood flow, wait until you see what happens when we bring all of this together, when we uncover the truth about safe sleep and how small changes can protect your mind for the rest of your life. Final wake-up call. Sleep wisely. Protect your brain. Sleep is supposed to be healing. It's the time when your body repairs, your brain clears toxins, and your heart finds rhythm again. But for millions of older Americans, the very thing meant to restore life has quietly become a nightly risk. Because while you sleep, the position of your head, the height of your pillow, and even the softness beneath your neck can decide whether your brain wakes up healthy or harmed. Over decades of treating stroke patients, I've learned something few people ever think about. Most nighttime strokes are not random. They're triggered by slow, repeated habits. The way blood pools when your head lies flat. The way oxygen dips when your chin tucks too tight. The way clots form when circulation stalls in the neck. These aren't accidents. They're patterns that build silently until one night the body gives way. The truth is, every pillow choice carries consequences. Too flat, and gravity works against your veins. Too soft, and your head sinks, cutting off air. Too high, and your neck folds, choking circulation. Add in age, thicker blood, stiffer arteries, slower reflexes, and the smallest mistake can become catastrophic. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens over years. Your body adapts, your nerves go numb, your vessels weaken, and then one morning you wake up and nothing feels the same. But here's the hope. Most of these strokes can be prevented. The power to protect your brain is in your hands, or rather under your head. Choose a pillow that keeps your neck straight and your airway open. Elevate your head slightly, but not sharply. Sleep on your side or back, never face down. Keep your arms beside your body, not under it, and breathe freely. No blankets over your face, no stacked pillows pressing your chin down. These may sound like small changes, but in medicine, the smallest things often make the biggest difference. You've worked too hard to let a habit undo decades of living. You've earned the right to wake up every morning with your mind sharp and your body steady. So tonight, when you pull the covers up and lay your head down, pause for just a moment. Ask yourself, is my pillow helping my brain or hurting it? Because the way you sleep tonight could decide how you wake tomorrow. Sleep wisely, my friend. Protect your brain. Protect your life. Because every heartbeat, every breath, every quiet night you spend safely, that's one more gift of time you've earned, and it's worth everything. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with one. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.